Week 2, Lesson 1, Part 2, we're going to continue on regions.
Regions. Most maps divide up the world by continents and countries. People who study geography, called geographers, find it helpful to divide areas into regions. Regions are places that share similar characteristics. The United States is a very large country with many climates, landforms, natural resources, industries, and customs. Within the United States, there are 5 main regions. The West is home to coastal mountains, deserts, and redwood forests. Although there is a lot of variety in its climate, the West is known for its fair weather. The natural resources of the West include lumber, produce, and fish. The Southwest has the Rocky Mountains, plateaus, canyons, and deserts. Natural resources like the minerals copper and silver are found in this region, along with oil or petroleum. The Middle West is unique because of its plains and prairies, with rich soil for growing crops. The weather here is extreme, from hot and humid summers to cold and snowy winters. The natural resources here help feed the entire country with wheat, soybean, and corn. The Southeast is home to the Mississippi River, which transports goods from the entire region to ports in the Gulf of Mexico. The warm and humid climate of the Southeast provides the rest of the country with agricultural natural resources like oranges, peanuts, and sugarcane. Below, the ground is rich with coal and oil. Southeastern forests provide lumber for construction and manufacturing. The Northeast is the smallest of the regions, but has a great number of cities and many industries. The Atlantic Ocean has long provided lobster and fish to the people of this region. People also enjoy the breathtaking autumns in the forests of the Appalachian Mountains. Each region, while diverse, shares a similar history, natural resources, climate, and even a similar way of life.
When creating regional divisions, there are many different characteristics that can define a region. As we saw in the video, the United States is broken up much like what is seen in the map above. The regions of the United States are broken into landforms, climates, and elevations when considering the breakup. These 6 regions are the Northeast, Southeast, Midwest, Southwest, Mountain States, and Pacific Coast. Other geographers may use similar characteristics to divide the country into only 4 regions: the Northeast, Midwest, South, and West. When looking at the regions of the world, it is more of a focus of how we break down world cultures and how we are going to study different areas at different times. The United States as Canada is usually kept together, as well as Latin America. And then next we'll be looking at the following: Europe, Russia and Asia, North Africa and Southwest Asia, South Asia, East Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, Oceania, and Antarctica. Every one of the 10 regions can be broken down into smaller regions. Europe has historically been divided into Western Europe and Eastern Europe, generally based on political, ethnic, and economic characteristics. Latin America is often divided into South America, Central America, and the Caribbean, based largely on geography. Even such subregions can be farther divided, depending on what characteristics researchers want to focus on. Our next focus, moving on from regions, is mapping from memory. It may sound ambiguous. What is a mental map? Have you ever had to give somebody directions to the principal's office at school, or to a local store or park that is close to your home? When you gave these directions, you probably did not need to refer to a printed map, because these are places you're very familiar with. But what kind of map did you use? A mental map. Mental maps are the maps people construct in their minds because of their understanding or perception of the world. Let's take a look at this short video clip.
Mental maps. Once you know a little bit about maps and globes, and when you're familiar with places in the world, you can make a map in your head. Picture the globe in your mind. Can you picture the United States? Can you picture the East Coast? Now turn the globe in your mind. When you turn it to the east, you probably see Africa. When you turn your globe to the west, you probably see a lot of ocean, and then Asia. Which continent is closer to the United States? Africa or Asia? On the continent of Africa, can you picture the landforms there? Congratulations! You've made your own mental map. The more you learn about maps and globes, the more you can use your mental map to help you find places in the world. That way, you don't have to carry a real globe with you wherever you go.
A mental map may be broad, like your internal knowledge of where things are in your entire city, or they can be narrow, like a mental picture of where things are in your bedroom. They also may not be based on fact and are often defined by a person's feelings and attitudes about a place. Having an accurate mental map of the world is very valuable. When we read the newspaper, watch television, or listen to the radio, we often hear of places in foreign countries and in our own country that we have never visited. Our mental maps can help us put those references in context. Similarly, our mental maps come in handy when we plan vacations and take trips, or when we meet people from other countries. The geography of the world can be complex, but mental maps make this vast amount of information easier for us to understand. Let's take a look at the blank map of Pennsylvania. Looking at it, where is Pittsburgh? Where's Harrisburg? Where's Philadelphia? Where's the mountains? Now let's take a look and see how accurate you are. Were you close? Having a good idea of where things are located just makes your everyday life easier, and you can make assumptions on the news and conversations that you even hear. For the continuation of week 2, we're going to be taking a look at our class activities, homework, and your weekly project. Remember to use your peer tab to ask your peers for help, as well as for your instructor. If any immediate questions arise using VoiceThread or Voki, please see your instructional clip for how to use using your help tab, or send an email to me.